in their families, because parents are illiterate, they are not educated accordingly. So I mean, they listen something, they have some stomach feeling that, I mean, Muslims are persecuted. They can be easily radicalized, if they are not knowing something about their own faith. The same problem with Christians. I mean, who knows now something, at least in Germany, I don't know so much about Malta. Yeah? But if you go in the shopping center and ask people what is the meaning of Christmas, what is the meaning of Pfingsten, there are other, I don't know, Easter or something like this, hardly you get a proper answer from them, because they do not learn about Christianity in schools properly, and all not in families. I am a born Christian. I have learned about my Christian religion in school. There I was educated, and it was good. It gave me a base. It taught me that between my religion and the law of the country there is no difference. And nowadays we have initiatives in Germany that, I mean, even Muslims can teach Islam in schools according to the law of the country. The teachers are educated in the universities. They get the academic, clearance, from the universities, but the Muslim communities, they clear them as well. They are involved to create a curriculum which is checked by the government, for example, if it is according to the democratic understanding. There things have to start, because I say it once again, in most of the Muslim countries, you have not freedom of religion, not freedom of speech. Therefore, it is quite important what happens today in Europe. I think it can help a lot to move peaceful movements in the whole world, inshallah.
Thank you.
And one thing I would like to say about Malta, which I like very much, and I give it always in as an example when I in the religious dialogues. I say in Malta, when they talk about God, they all talk about Allah. Yeah? It is a common issue. In Germany, you have so much difficulty to explain to people when you talk about Allah. Which Allah? Which Allah? Who's Allah? In Malta, you have this difficulty about not, because it's the same word.
Often lost.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to hand over to the host. Thank you. We'll take one. Can we take one final question?
The last, I think. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Then there's some food waiting as well. Yeah? Some refreshments.
Bismillah, my name is Abdullah Hassan. I'm Muslim. I'm able to be Muslim. The main question is, I have friends, I have a friend of me is a Christian, and always thinks about the Muslim and the Quran and so on. So when I explain about the Quran, he used to tell me always that the Quran and the Old Testament is the same. So if there is any link between the Quran and the Old Testament?
Sorry, I didn't.
I could not put
I think if you just hold your...
One of my friends, I used to explain always about the Muslim and the Quran.
Muslims and the Quran, yes.
I want to explain about the Quran, about the message of the Quran. He used to tell me always the Quran and the Old Testament are almost the same. So is there any link between the Quran and the Old Testament?
Well, I think first of all I'd say is, all books, revealed books, the Injil as it's called, the scriptures within Christianity as well. Islam teaches a respect of all religions, which came before it, and respect and reverence towards all books as well. Undoubtedly, to the letter, the short answer, they're not. They're very different in certain respects. However, there's an important underlying thing, and I go back to a question I answered earlier, that if you take that all religions, and it's our belief, that all religions, at their inception, were the truth. You cannot have, we just talked about Allah and God and Bhagwan, you can talk this. These are names which are associated with that. It is my belief and the belief of Muslims that it's a belief that these are names associated with the Supreme Being of God. And even the word Allah, as has just been articulated, is one of a cultural influence. That Allah, many Christian communities, many Jewish communities use the word Allah because it was something attached to the region, not something which was associated specifically with Islam before the advent of Islam. So that in itself answers part of your question, that there is a commonality of principles, there is a commonality of teachings, there's a commonality threads and ideologies which you'll find in all holy scriptures. But to say that the Old Testament, which I have heard before, and the Holy Quran are one of the same and one replicates the other, that isn't correct. But what you will find is that in the teachings of all faiths, and I don't limit it just to Christianity and Islam, of course, no religion whatsoever tells you to go out and take someone else's life, take an innocent life and bring it upon yourself. No religion sanctifies the taking of and endorses the taking of innocent life. And that's a common thread. Every religion tells you to submit to God Almighty. If you're in need, you seek God for prayers. Every religion seeks you to extend yourself in the service of humanity and charity and your fellow human beings. Now, these are common threads which are found in all faiths. So the short answer to your question is no. But the more important element to it is that if all origins of faith, which I hold to be true, what we've seen over time are different interpretations, and even in Islam today, we see different interpretations. And that's why you have people who extol peace and say that Islam truly is a religion of peace, and there are others who think it right to hijack Islam and present it in a way as a religion which extols terror, which is so fundamentally removed from its basic teaching. So you will always get interpretations. However, the fact is there's common threads in all religion, and I think religion, and I'd encourage you to do it, when you look at different scriptures, and I have done so, when you read the Hindu scriptures, the Jewish scriptures, or the Torah, you will find certain teachings in those which are reflective of your own practices as a Muslim.
Thank you very much. I have another question.
Okay, shall we? I don't know how time limited we are, so I look to...
Why don't you ask...
Perhaps we can ask over a cup of tea. Can I just on my part thank you all for at least allowing me to share some of my thoughts and indeed the experiences that I've had, but also more importantly the reflections of the time and life of the noble Prophet. And may I say once again, it's a great pleasure to be with you here this evening in this beautiful island, but I do wish it was a bit more sunny when I got here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm highly thankful to all of you who have spared your valuable time to be part of this event. I would like also to thank Lord Tariq, who has given very informative and interesting presentation. He was very busy, but I'm thankful that he spared time for our event. I would also like to extend my thanks to Abdullah Wagishauser, who came from Germany for this special event. I would also like that we have prepared a small guest pack where you will be having some leaflets and some more brief booklets which you might be of interest of you. And don't forget to collect your guest pack while you will be leaving. And now we have refreshment in Lounge B. And here I would also like to tell that we have recently opened a library which is in Gazira. You all have our email address. Just send us email. We'll reply you the address and opening details. So if you wish, you can come and visit our library. You might be having many books. You can borrow books. You can take with you and
Cup of tea, possibly?
yes, cup of tea and also coffee will be offered to all our visitors. Once again, thank you very much, and please join us all together in refreshment area. Thank you.